You know, when you're living with wet AMD, your own home can start to feel, well, a little unpredictable. So let's dive into a really practical 1-hour plan to make your space safer. We're not talking about big remodels or complicated projects, just simple, finished actions that actually work. Wow, that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's that quiet anxiety that creeps in when the places you know best start to change. Edges kind of disappear, glare gets really loud, and a simple walk to the kitchen can feel like you're navigating a minefield. You're not alone in this. It's a totally shared experience.
So, what's the solution? How do we tackle this? We're going to do it with a simple, timer-based approach. 60 minutes, that is it. 1 hour is all it takes to make a huge, tangible difference in your home's safety. Really.
We're calling this the 60-minute safety sweep, and it's all built around 3 simple passes through the parts of your home you use the most. Here's the thing, long to-do lists don't change a home. Finished actions do. This whole framework is designed to get you real results, like by dinner time.
So here's our game plan. We're going to spend 20 minutes on lighting, then 20 on contrast, and the final 20 on trip hazards. And there's a really smart reason for this order. Good lighting makes everything instantly better. Then, contrast helps your brain clearly see boundaries. And finally, we clear the path of any physical obstacles. See how it builds?
Okay, but before you hit that timer, let's get focused. You do not need to fix your entire house at once. That's just overwhelming, right? Instead, I want you to identify your top 3 routes. You know, think about bed to bathroom, couch to kitchen, and maybe the front door to your main living area. We're prioritizing routes, not rooms.
All right, let's start the timer. For our first 20-minute pass, we are fixing the lighting. And here's the big paradox. Just cranking up the brightness can actually make things worse. The goal isn't to make your home feel like a stadium. It's to have clear lighting that cuts down on glare and helps to find edges.
And you can see the difference perfectly right here. On the left, you've got that harsh glare from a bare bulb, and it just completely washes out the edges of the steps. But on the right, see how that diffused light from a lampshade makes them super clear? We're going for even, consistent light that isn't blasting you right in the eyes.
So, as you walk your routes, keep an eye out for these common glare traps. See an uncovered bulb? Pop a shade on it. Got shiny floors creating a blinding hotspot? Try aiming a lamp at the ceiling for more indirect light. Mismatched bulbs in the hallway creating weird shadows? Let's try to make them consistent.
Okay, time's up on lighting. Let's move on to our next 20 minutes. Now we're going to add clear contrast. And I absolutely love this analogy. Think of it as creating subtitles for your feet. When your central vision makes it hard to see the details, your brain needs those bold boundaries to know exactly where to step. So where do you get the most bang for your buck? Right here. Use a simple roll of high-contrast tape, you can find it anywhere, to clearly mark the top and bottom of your stairs, the thresholds between rooms, the edge of the tub, and even your door handles. The goal here is to eliminate all the guesswork for your brain and your feet.
This is such a critical point, and one that's so easy to overlook. Light switches. Why? Well, because if the plate just blends into the wall, you end up doing that uncertain shuffle in the dark, with your hand just patting the wall, searching. A contrasting switch plate gets rid of that vulnerable moment. It's a tiny fix with a huge payoff.
Okay, we're on the home stretch. Our final 20-minute pass is all about removing trip hazards. I call these the quiet injury makers. You know, the things that have been in your home for years and seem totally harmless until they're not. We're talking rugs, cords, and general clutter.
Trip hazards are basically invisible until your toe finds them. And while the safest floor is an empty floor, we all know the #1 culprit is usually a rug. People get attached to them, I get it, but safety has to come first. So we need a really clear, simple rule. And here it is. You're going to remove any small throw rugs, anything that slides around, and anything with curled up edges, period. If you absolutely have to keep a rug, it must be low pile, it has to lie completely flat, be fully secured with double-sided tape, and, super important, have high contrast with the floor. The best test? If you can easily lift the edge with your foot, it's a hazard. All right, and let's quickly tame these other troublemakers. Got electrical cords snaking across the floor? Secure them along the wall. For all that clutter, mail, shoes, create a drop zone, like a basket or a tray, that is completely off your walking path. And this last one is a house rule, no exceptions. Nothing ever lives on the stairs, not even for a minute.
Now that we've done our 3 passes, let's zoom in and apply all this thinking to the single most important room for safety. If you only have the energy to tackle one space, please make it the bathroom.
It is by far your highest risk area.
The bathroom is just a perfect storm of risk factors, right? You've got water on smooth surfaces, you've got terrible contrast, like a white toilet on a white floor, and you have the urgency that often comes with those nighttime visits. This is where non-slip mats that lie flat and properly installed grab bars, and I mean real grab bars, not towel racks, are completely non-negotiable.
Okay, feeling a little overwhelmed by all this? Please don't be. The goal here is progress, not perfection. A home that's even 20% safer is a massive win. You can absolutely do this. In fact, let's start right now with an even smaller commitment.
So here's your challenge. I want you to take just 15 minutes. That's it. First, pick your number one route. Bed to bathroom is almost always the winner. Second, remove just one thing you have to step around. And third, add one good, predictable light source that doesn't create any glare. That's it. A small, simple, finished action.
So that's the real question to end on. Forget the big, overwhelming project. What is the one small, simple fix you're going to make today to build a safer, more predictable path in your own home? Because your independence isn't about one huge change. It's about a whole series of these small, powerful wins.